Hi. Well, it's another beautiful day, and today I want to talk about a couple of things. We all go through life with a variety of things happening to us, good or bad, and what you should take away from this and all the videos is that these things are there for your learning. When the good things happen, that's there for your learning. When the bad things happen, that's there for your learning too. The way you wake up is to learn from yourself. You're your best own teacher, okay? Because you know where all your bigaboos are, right? You know what's going on with you. No matter how good a teacher is, if he doesn't know what's going on with you, he can't teach you. Because he can't know where you're coming from. Okay? And that's the thing to really take away from these talks, okay, is that you know what you have to do. You know what has to happen if you want to wake up. And you know whether or not you're capable of doing that, if you're capable of accepting what is. And that's the best thing you can, know, okay? Everybody has things they have to get over. Everybody has things challenges that we have to grow over, okay, in order to awaken. And part of that growing over is dealing with what is, without having to make it into something else, without having to change the way it looks or make it something different, okay? It is what it is, okay? Whatever happens is a teaching to you, okay? If you are having a bad day, that's a life lesson, okay? Why are you having a bad day? Because you're upset, maybe. Or because you're whatever, okay? And you can take that upset, that whatever it is that's making your day bad, and you can learn from it. It can teach you how to awaken, okay? For instance, let's say you're having a bad day because your boss was mean to you or whatever. Okay, and you're carrying that mean around. Okay? It's in there. It's with you. You have it. Okay? Even though the boss is now at home sipping coffee or whatever, you're still carrying it. Okay? Because that's just the way it is. And in order to grow, in order to awaken, you need to face that challenge and go over it. Okay? Face the challenge and then get over it. That's it. That's the whole thing. And each challenge is a teaching that helps you let go of the things that aren't you. We hold on to these things. We cling to these things that aren't us. Okay? And it's hard to let go. It's very hard. But as you grow over a challenge, that teaches you how to find the way to let go. Okay? And you're the only one that would know that because you're the only one that grew over the challenge. And you're the only one that knows that you have a hang-up to begin with. Okay? And that's how you awaken. Okay? But by accepting what is. Not by fighting against it. Having upsets. Being, like a Karen or whatever it is. Okay? Have an upset. Go ahead. But learn from it. Look at it. Take a little bit of awareness and put it into the upset. Okay? And just try to learn from what's going on inside your own mind. Okay? I know that's hard. I know it's difficult. But you can do it. Okay? Whatever the upset is, there's something at the bottom of it. Right? That's the way it is. Okay? A lot of times that means it's fear. Fear is at the bottom of a lot of things. Certainly upset is one of them. Okay? And you have to face that fear and overcome it. Just like you had to face the challenge. And as you face more challenges and face more fear, you get free. I know it sounds kind of hard to do, but just use a little bit of the awareness that God gave you. A little bit, just a little bit. And put it into whatever's going on in your life at that moment, the now. Okay? And that will show you where you need to go, what you need to do. Okay? Don't try and fight against what's happening. Try and flow with it and get over those challenges. Okay? Grow over them, because that's the only way out. You cannot grow over them any other way. Okay? You can fight. You can run. That's absolutely true. You can run away from them. Okay? And fight them. Okay? But it's not going to work. It's not going to do it. It's not going to make your life better. Your life is important. And it's important because you have the ability to understand who you are. And aside from everything else that may have been told to you about who you are, like your name and the things you've done in your life, you've experienced, the schools you went to, that's not who you are. But you know who you are because you felt it, haven't you? Of course you have. You felt it in yourself when you were in the woods, when you were riding down a mountain, when you were surfing on a wave. You felt the connection happening between your soul and all the life around you. And that connection, that feeling is who you are. If you insist on being something else that the world invented what you're being. Okay? And these roles that you've taken onto yourself, like father, mother, daughter, son, policeman, lawyer, doctor, so on and so forth, aren't you. But you can't do anything about that until you recognize it for yourself. And the only way to recognize it for yourself is to start with acceptance. Okay? I know that's hard. I get that. Okay? But it's something that we all have to try and do, if possible. Okay? No matter what your life circumstance. Maybe you're single. Maybe you're married. And maybe you're in a bad marriage. Okay? Or whatever is going on with you. If you want to grow, if you want to have a life filled with, good things, okay? Like love, happiness, peace, joy, okay? Then you have to grow. It's as simple as that. Just like you had to grow when you were a baby, when you were trying to walk, okay? And now you can do it again, okay? Because this is the next one. No matter what stage of life you're in, even if you're 60, you're going to continue being an old man living in some town, not doing anything with your life as you retire away into dust? Is that what you're going to do? Okay, then that's what you're going to do. But you could change the way you are. You could change who you are. Because you are not this person you think you are. You are a soul. And no matter what you think, okay, about you, okay, that's who you are. Deep down, deep underground, okay? And as long as you think it's not you, that's not you, that's not anything to do with you, then you're going to be living in illusions, okay? The illusion of separateness, the illusion of permanence, the illusion of time. And these illusions only entrap you and help the ego to control your actions, okay? Because that's what it is. So those are your choices. You can be controlled by the ego, or free by your own will. Those are the two possibilities. Okay? And if you are not growing, then you're dying. Everybody past 25 is now in a state of decay. We're all decaying. That's what happens to human bodies. Okay? And whether you've got 60 years to go or 20 years to go or whatever it is, okay? You still have to be in the world at, this time, okay? You still have to be here, okay? And you still have to try and live. And that means growing. We are all dying. Yes, that's true. But we're also growing. Okay? And that's just what it is. And if you don't grow, if you cling to the old you, the historical you, which you have been making for many, many years, okay? Which is fine. But if you do cling to that you, then you're going to be unhappy. That's just the way it is. Because that you is tied to karma. That you is part of the karma that you must do. Okay? And, that means that you're trapped. Okay? And you're lost in time. I know it's hard to say that somebody's lost in time, but that's what you are. If you're still clinging to the old you, you're lost in the past. Or if you're still clinging to what happened to you in the future, then you're lost in the future. And that's all there is of time, the past and the future. And they don't exist. The only thing that exists of time is the now. And if you're not in the now, then you're either in the past or the future. That's it. And you're trapped. Okay? Which I don't want anybody to be trapped, but that's what it is. And if you can't recognize that fact, which you should be able to, because being trapped isn't fun. It's bad. It makes you feel bad. Right? You felt it. Haven't you? The unhappiness, the misery. Yeah, of course you have. So, we need to go into the future, not the future, the present, the now, okay? And grow. Grow out of the historical you. The historical you is simply a seed, okay? That's it. That's all it is. And it wants to be a mighty oak. But you know what? If it just stays a seed, then that's what it stays. It stays a seed. I remember 10 years ago, I planted an oak seed. I forget what they're called. On my land. It never came up. It stayed a seed. And that was fine. I guess it didn't matter. Okay? It was part of the underground. And if you want to stay a seed too, by all means, there's nothing wrong with that, and that's just the way it is. But if you want to grow and become a mighty oak, okay? Which I assume you do because that's why you're here, watching this. Then you have to start by looking at what is coming towards you, looking at what challenges you are facing, and overcoming those challenges. Looking at the fear that's coming at you and overcoming the fear or the whatever it is. Only you know what that is because only you can see it. I'm not saying that you can't reach enlightenment by just meditating or whatever. Yeah, you can. But you know what? It still takes growing. You've got to grow into what you will be, which is an enlightened person, a mighty oak. Okay? And that's really what we're trying to get to. Okay? Is that enlightenment. But if we want to just stay a seed, which is the historical you're a seed that never sprouted. Then there's nothing wrong with that. The ground is littered with seeds that never sprouted. Okay? But if you want to change, then you have to start by just putting some awareness into what it is your life is. What it is that's happening to you in your life. That's it. And that awareness will show you where you need to grow and how you need to get over these challenges, which really are part of your suffering. Challenges are part of your suffering as long as you're not trying to overcome them. That's the way it is, okay? And that's all that matters, really. We have to overcome these challenges so they're not part of our suffering. And the less challenges there are, because we've overcome so many, then the less suffering there'll be, and more freedom. Anyway, that's what it's all about. That's where we have to go from here. Okay? Put that awareness into your life. See what's going on. See what kind of challenges you have to grow through. Okay? To overcome. And that's what awakening is. Okay? And everyone can do it. Everyone has the option to do it. Okay? Because that's it's built into who you will be when you become awakened. Every human being has that, because every human being has a door into the formless dimension where God is. Okay? And that's why everyone can be loved, because that love can come back out through that door. And that's all there is to it. And if you are not being loved, then that's because of whatever reason it is. And that's a challenge for you to grow over. Okay? And that's something then that you have to look at and acknowledge in your life that that's a challenge and that you have to get over it. You have to overcome those challenges to grow. Okay? And that's what's important. Everything else is just straight up bullshit. Crap. Okay? Money, riches, power, fame. It's all basically not important. Because it's not going to make you happy. Okay? And that includes winning. Okay? Winning isn't going to make you happy either. There's only one thing that can make you happy, and that is direct contact with God. And the only way to get there is by overcoming your own problems. Overcoming your own deficiencies, whatever they are. And you probably know about them because you have been dealing with them. Okay? And that allows you to have a leg up on what's going on with your life. Okay? And we face these things. Face them. Don't run away. Don't push them away. Face them. If it's hard, that means you need to face them more. If it's really messing with your life, that means you have to really get into it and find out what is going on inside that thing, whatever it is. Is it fear? Is it hate? Or whatever it is you can feel that it is. That's what it is. And then you can break that fear or hate or jealousy or sadness down. And overcome it. And it disappears. It's gone. And as it does, it transforms into spiritual energy, and it enlivens you. And that's really everything. I mean, having your problems transform into spiritual energy, doesn't that sound like an incredible thing to have happen to you? Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, absolutely. Okay? And it can happen if you just take a little bit of awareness, okay? Away from thinking. All that awareness right now is in thinking, okay? Or the majority of it is in thinking. Just pull a little bit of awareness away from thinking, okay? And put it into what's before you, what's happening right now. And that's how you awaken. Yeah, you can meditate to get into the now, which will help you to look at yourself better, okay? To see clearly what is going on with you, which is what you need to do in order to face what is the problem. Face the fear. Face whatever's going on. The emotional storm in your life that you don't want to be there. You have to face it and accept it. If you can't do that, then you're going to be plagued by it. It's going to keep coming back. I can't tell you how to proceed because your life is completely different from every other life, and therefore your things you have to grow about, okay? That's completely different too. I can tell you what I have gone through. I can tell you the things I have had to grow over, and I have throughout this channel. If you want to know some of that, just go back and look. Okay? But whatever I say, it's just a pointer. You cannot really talk about spiritual matters with language because the language is so object-oriented. And by half the time when you say something, you're basically saying nothing. Okay? And so all you can do get out of language is a pointer towards what direction you need to go. And awareness is your pointer. You need to be more aware of what is going on with you. And we get more aware by just pulling some awareness away from thinking. Okay? Just let a little bit of awareness go from the thinking. Okay? And you can use that awareness for whatever you want. You can use that awareness to look at a beautiful plant, like a tree, or a plant, or a bush, and connect with that. Okay? Or you can use it to look at your own self and find out why you are the way you are. Because you are the way you are for reasons. Okay? And those reasons could be that you didn't get enough affection when you were a baby, or you didn't get enough paddling when you were a baby, or whatever it was. Or maybe it was because your childhood was too carefree or too happy. Or maybe it was because your childhood was too miserable. Whatever it was, we can figure that stuff out now, and we can do it through awareness. And we cannot, we can do whatever we want. Everybody can do whatever they want. But in order to grow, in order to become awakened, we need to look at ourselves, and we need to do it with awareness. We need to stop the thinking. And that's why getting into the now with meditation or going into your body and your chi is important. Okay? Because that's how you get into the now, and that's how you can look at yourself. Okay? Generally speaking, if you're not in the now, then you're in the past or the future. So, try to see what is going on in your life. Try to find out what it is that you are experiencing beyond the surface level. Because everything has depth to it. Everything. And with enough awareness, you can probe into the depth of your life and find out why you are the way you are. And then you can see how to find a way out of that by growing, by facing challenges and then accepting them. That's it. And that allows you to grow. That allows you to get more aware, which allows you more chances to grow from more challenges. Because there's always going to be more challenges, because that's what life is. There's never going to be a time when you're not going to get challenged, okay? Even now, when I'm 68 years old and pretty old, okay, and awakened, I'm still getting challenged all the time, because that is the nature of life. So, just try to look at your life. Look at what is going on in your life. If you can get into the now and do it there, that's so much the better, okay? But if you continue to be a seed, which is what you are if you're clinging to things in your life, and you know if you're clinging or not, because believe me, you'll know it, okay? Like, for instance, your wife. Are you clinging to your wife? Or your kids? Making them a part of who you are? Are you clinging to your car and your house? Are you clinging to time and permanence? You think everything is going to be the way it is now into the future? Well, you're wrong. It's not going to be the way it is now. Everything is constantly changing. The finger of history is writing the future as we go. It's a future that we will never see, because when it gets here, it will be now. And that means we must grow in order to face that now. Okay? We must excise this fear from ourselves that is hidden within the challenges that we are facing. And when we do face these challenges and we face the fear of them, we grow. That's what happens. Fear is behind so much stuff in the human being, you know? And that's basically what we have to do, is face the fear. Face the emotional problems, okay, that have been caused by your own upbringing, that have been caused by your parents and their thoughtless upbringing of you. Not that they're to blame. I don't say anybody's to blame. But they were just people. They didn't know what they were doing. And neither did I, and neither did you, and neither did anyone else who tried to raise a kid. You just did the best you could. So that's why we have to accept what is. Just like we have to accept that our parents did the best they could. And if we can hold on to what hurt our parents gave us, and we can hold on to that for a long time, okay? And nurture it to us, and nestle it into our self, okay? Absolutely, we can do that, but it's not going to do any good, because we need to get past it by accepting it. Well, anyway, it's been a pleasure talking to you here today. I love you all because you're me, because we're all one thing. These trees and plants and worms and ants are all one thing with me and you. And that one thing is God. So try to remember who you are. And try to realize that you must face what you fear, and you must face what you don't understand, because those things are part of the challenges that you have every day that you have to face. And if you don't face them with the awareness that you are awareness. That is who and what you are, is awareness. Then you cannot grow and overcome these challenges. Please, if you have comments or questions about anything I've said, by all means, I'll answer them. And if you want to, you can share this video to anyone you think might be interested in knowing about it. And I guess that's it. Have a great day and a great life. I love you all.